Welcome back, Mustang fans, to Rita Replays. Tonight's action is 2017 versus Mount Carmel. And a special note, this was the last time we have played Mount Carmel since the realigning of the Catholic League divisions. So without further ado, here's the last time we played Mount Carmel, with I'm sure plenty of games to come in the future.
And we welcome you to the corner of 79th and Western in the city of Chicago for tonight's U2 Game of the Week, one of the most heated rivalries in all of high school sports. It's Mount Carmel against St. Rita. Welcome, everybody. I'm Jim Blaney. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, and we are bringing a new meaning to the word heated rivalry. Right now, just a few moments before kickoff, the temperature here down in the field is 91 degrees. It is the first day of fall, but that does not matter. One of the key things in this game tonight will be the conditioning of the players, because they are certainly not used to playing in temperatures like this at this point of the season. We have a big game tonight for both of these teams. Both teams come in 3-1 overall. The winner of this game tonight is in great shape for making the playoffs. The loser is going to have some work to do. And now it's time to introduce you to my Hall of Fame partners that'll help me in bringing you tonight's game. To my left is Kenny McReynolds, and to my right is Jack McInerney. And Jack, it's a big night for Mount Carmel. It always is when they play St. Rita. But Mount Carmel is getting the best athlete in the school back in their lineup tonight.
Well, you know, it's really going to be interesting, because for the first four balls, they didn't have them. They struggled. There's no doubt about it. Will he physically help them? Absolutely. More so, I think, motivationally. They've been really waiting for him, all his teammates, because he's an experienced quarterback from last year. He's an outstanding athlete. It'll be really interesting to see what he can do tonight for Mount Carmel.
Alec Thomas missed this point of the season so far because he's off playing with the U.S. World U18 baseball team. Kenny, meanwhile, for St. Rita, Chris Childers is a key to the game for them, because they need to be able to establish and be steady on offense and maintain position to have success tonight.
Well, Jim, they have to run the ball. And one thing Chris has done this year, he has run the ball. He has run it well. 4 games, he's run almost 400 yards, 398 to be exact. I'm not a mathematician, but that's almost 100 yards a game. 7 touchdowns. They run the option. He has to get a good game today, Jim, if the Mustangs want to win.
Mount Carmel and St. Rita getting together for the 98th time on the football field. Mount Carmel has won 6 out of the last 8 meetings between these two teams. However, St. Rita has won 2 of the last 3 conference games. They've met 2 times in the last 3 years in the Catholic League playoffs, Mount Carmel winning both of those. So take a look at our keys to the game. First of all, for the Caravan of Mount Carmel, they come in at 3-1. Obviously, one of the things this team always tries to do is win the battle up front, and Jack and I talk about this all the time with Mount Carmel. If the ball doesn't hit the turf, they're very difficult to beat. But as we saw against Loyola earlier this year, Jack, they leave it lying around, they're in trouble. And now the keys to the game for St. Rita, as they try to run their record to 4-1 on the season. They need to run the ball effectively, because that allows their offense to stay on the field. So, and out of the head to my great partner, Doug Buffone. Look at the top 2. Run the ball, stop the run. That's what Doug always preached. And then, of course, if you can win the turnover battle, which goes back to what we talked about with Mount Carmel, if St. Rita can put some pressure on Alec Thomas to make his decision-making a little faster than he would like, you increase the chances of late pitches and increase the chances of getting some turnovers and getting some extra possessions.
Well, part of that will see how rusty is he. I mean, he's practiced for the allotted time to be able to play tonight, but when you're running the option, as sophisticated from the standpoint of Mount Carmel's is, thank goodness he has experience from last year as a junior, where he came in the latter half of the year to be the quarterback. That certainly will help tonight. He's still going to be rusty, and we're going to see, hopefully, from Mount Carmel's sake, not too many turnovers, but I got to think there's going to be a potential for a few.
St. Rita won the toss. They deferred. So Mount Carmel is going to get the ball first. And one thing we will keep an eye on tonight is conditioning for the players, because no one is used to playing in these kind of conditions at this time of year. There's that Alec Thomas right there, number 27, on the kick return team as well. Mount Carmel will very likely try to get him the ball in as many ways as possible. Eddie McGee is back to receive. He's number 3, and then number 44 is Zach Steika.
The thing that I thought really interesting, Jim, is when we had the chance to talk with Frank Clinton before the game. He talked about how popular Alex Thomas is with his teammates. They were not at all upset with the fact that he was in that baseball program and that he had an opportunity to do what he did. You can see him right there. He's very popular with his teammates because he's a hard-working young man, and he's a team player. And Frank emphasized the fact that the chemistry of the team has really kind of soared a wee bit in the last week or so since he's had the opportunity to possibly play tonight.
If Mount Carmel can win this game tonight and go to 4-1, the schedule really gets friendly for them the rest of the way. So if they win this game and Thomas has a great game, all of a sudden they're sitting at 4-1. They've got their quarterback all set, and they could be a force to be reckoned with the rest of the way. But for the loser of this game, whether it be Mount Carmel or St. Rita, you drop to 3-2, and all of a sudden it looks a lot different. High kick, center of the field. Thomas will get it at his own 6-yard line. Thomas up the hash marks, good burst of speed, brings it out to the 33-yard line before he is brought down by, among others, Charlie Selke. So here comes the offense for the Caravan. Thomas will stay out there, and he will be at the controls of, if you've watched any Mount Carmel football over the last 30 years, you know what the offense is.
Callahan on the
they run that split back veer, and they run it very effectively. And a lot of people say, well, you know, that's outdated. What in the heck are they running that for? Frank has run that successfully for the last 34 years that he's been the head coach. And he's the winningest coach in the state history of Illinois high school football. So you tell me, are you going to switch? I don't think so.
And no other Illinois high school is even close to producing Heisman Trophy finalists to Mount Carmel out of the quarterback position. They've had 2 over the course of the last 20 years, Donovan McNabb and Jordan Lynch. And now it's Alex Thomas's turn. He'll run the option, and he will hand it off. Good burst from Mount Carmel on first down. It's going to be a gain of about 8 yards all the way out to the 36-yard line.
And that's a big play on first down for them. A very simple dive play, an outside veer. And Reyes has the, Demetrius Reyes, number 22, that carried the football, has the breakaway speed that they were lacking early on. So there's potential for Mount Carmel here.
Rios and Ben Lenti are the running backs. You may see a lot of swapping and mixing and matching of the running backs tonight. Rios almost trapped in the backfield, gets out to the 49-yard line. He will have a Mount Carmel first down. He was taken down by Matt Callahan and also Flynn Blake in there to make the tackle.
Well, Thomas comes out on the lead option, the sprint option on the outside. You can see they're going after him right away, and he gets rid of the football. They're hoping he's rusty. And, you know, they want him to go outside and run the football if possible.
Well, that sure looked like he executed that perfectly, Jack. As soon as the linebacker came up and faced him, he stopped and pitched the ball.
Well, because he's an outstanding athlete. Some other kids wouldn't be able to do that with the amount of practice time he's had. And coming into a big ball game like this.
1st and 10 from the Mount Carmel 48-yard line. Thomas gives to Rios, 3rd carry in a row, and for the 2nd carry in a row, he will have a first down for the 2nd carry in a row. He's taken down by Callahan. The ball's in St. Rita territory now. 1st and 10, Mount Carmel at the Rita 40.
That's the play they ran on the very first play. And what they do is they run the outside veer. They block everybody down. And Thomas rides him right off the shoulder of the tackle. And if the guy closes down, he keeps the ball. If he does not close down, then he gives the running back the football. And that's what's happened. They're kind of going after Thomas more so, and that's why the ball's been given to the back.
Liam McDonough and Aristotle Nakos are the receivers. Fake to Rios. Thomas keeps, turns it upfield. He'll have a first down. He can't even make one more man miss. What a spin move. Takes it all the way down to the 17-yard line before he is finally brought to the turf, and that is how dynamic Alec Thomas can be. Charlie made a tackle.
This is just an outstanding play by an athlete. You can see they've been running the play there. He keeps the ball off of that fake, which was the outside veer. But right now, you can't coach these kind of moves. He's just an outstanding athlete. He just adds a tremendous dynamic to Mount Carmel's offense. Just the quick feet that he has. He could play probably a wide receiver flanker type in college, but he will be a baseball player.
He actually wants to play both in college. That's one of the things he's looking for. He makes his commitment. Thomas throws, and that was a little bit behind Nakos, who was the intended target. Callahan had the coverage. And for the first time in this game, Mount Carmel gets no yardage after snapping the football at 2nd down and 10.
And that was a combination right there of the outside linebacker jamming the wideout so he couldn't get in that route. It was a timing route off of that play-action fake. They were hoping that everybody would be coming up. And that's what happens when you go against a running option team. Those defensive backs have a tendency to want to come up and help on the option. And that's when you burn them with the play-action pass.
Rios gets the carry. He is close to another first down as he is brought down, right at the stick. The sticks are between the 7 and the 8 yard line. And he is almost, just a little bit over the 8, and they won't measure it. He's short, probably by about 2 feet.
And that's the same play for the most part that they've been running down the entire possession here is the outside veer. And again, he's stepped up to take Thomas, and Thomas gave the ball. And it's been a very successful play in this entire drive.
So third down for the Caravan. Thomas, and he handed it to Lenti. He didn't get it at first, but he spun off the pile. And the second effort will take him down to the 6-yard line and give Mount Carmel a first down at the St. Rita 6.
Well, Lenti comes in sometimes in a short yardage right here because he's a little stronger back. He has 4 touchdowns coming into this ball game, but good job on the defensive front of St. Rita right there on that stop.
Mount Carmel has taken the opening kickoff and driven it down to the St. Rita 6-yard line. One throw in the drive, it was incomplete. Thomas is going to keep it himself. He turns, he got drilled at the 1-yard line, and he will be short of the goal line by about a foot. Second and goal from the foot line for Mount Carmel.
Just really quick reaction, quick feet by Thomas. We saw Mount Carmel against Loyola, and they just didn't have the same dynamic at quarterback. You can see the quickness off. He just goes down. He wants the football. He wants to take the ball into the end zone. And he's a relatively strong runner for a relatively little guy at 170 pounds.
6 feet tall, and could very well, if you believe what the scouts do, and I tend to, he could very well be the number 1 overall pick in the Major League Draft the year he's eligible.
Well, this drive right here will be up to the offensive line right here. Let's see if there's a surge of those white jerseys into the red.
Thomas needs a foot. He'll get it. Touchdown, Mount Carmel.
Thomas on the keeper.
So the first drive of the game lasts 4 minutes, and Mount Carmel gets it on a 1-yard touchdown run by Alec Thomas.
And that was their power formation. They come in with double tight ends. He comes in motion like that. He trots in, and all he is the lead back up in the hole. And Thomas comes down and runs right in behind him. It's like the old I formation isolation play where you have a lead back. That is just a different way of running it out of the split back veer.
Sean Murr in to attempt the extra point.
For the extra point.
The wind is hurting from the left for him, but no one's complaining about the breeze tonight. Boy, was it hot today in Chicago. Murr puts it up, and it is good. 7-0 Caravan. A 4-minute drive.
You got a guy, Mike P, out there, so it's all about music, having fun, waking up. It's a different take. There's a lot of morning shows out there doing real cool stuff, but we like to think we have our own different slice, and it's something fresh and new.
What I really like about you, you're a
Suit on. I see you in the morning at 6 a.m. I see you at night. You're always in a suit. It's a different look.
well, 91 degrees outside.
Yeah, right? That's a good excuse to wear no.
Every weekday morning starting at 6 a.m. on The U. Oh, nice jump. Hey, Jim, back up to you.
Thank you, Kenny. That was Chris Childers getting a first down for St. Rita and moving the ball out to the Rita 44-yard line. So St. Rita, after Mount Carmel marches right down the field to take a 7-0 lead, the Mustangs have something working on offense now with first downs and 2 consecutive plays.
And that's their version of the option coming out of the spread formation. And they run it very effectively.
Jake Zillman is the quarterback. Zillman keeps it himself over midfield, trying to get it to the outside. He'll run out of bounds at the Mount Carmel 36-yard line. So even though Mount Carmel went right down the field, Jack St. Rita's come out on offense, and they're rolling up yards early.
Well, it's nice to have a 2-year starter back at quarterback. You can see the ride fake there off the jet sweep. He's coming right at you. He sure does a nice job of running with the football. Averages about 5 yards a carry. He contributes about 180 yards of total offense to that offense for St. Rita.
That's Gleaves coming in motion. Childers gets the carry, and he can't get anything going. As Jeremy Cooper is in there to make the tackle for Mount Carmel.
No gain.
Good disciplined defense by the Caravan. And also in the stop for the Caravan was McLean Malavikas.
That was a very slow developing play, and I think that's what contributed to defense making that play.
Loss of 2. Second down and 12. Zillman fires, has a man open. Bouye has it at the 20-yard line. Sidestepped a man, goes down to the 16-yard line before he's brought down. And he might have been in the end zone if it hadn't been for Ross Valenti.
And that's drive by St. Rita.
Mustangs moving very, very quickly. Childers on the delay. It gets into the linebackers at the 11-yard line and then is brought down, but it's another positive gain for the Mustangs as it's a 7-yard pickup and it'll leave 2nd down and 3.
It'll be interesting to see how both of these teams can continue these drives because the wear and tear is not going to be so much on the running backs. The wear and tear is going to be on the linemen, both offensively and defensively. And that turf just really pushes heat up into your face.
Stefanski goes in motion. Keeper, Stillman, and he'll be in the end zone. Touchdown, St. Rita. From 11 yards out. Still the good from Carmel. A total of 4 minutes to score. It took St. Rita 2 minutes, 8 seconds.
Very impressive offense right there by St. Rita. And Zillman's, of course, the guy the ball goes through on every play. He's the guy that reads the option, does a nice job. And, of course, when you have a running back like Chris Childers, that makes a big difference. He's a breakaway runner. And so the linebackers will key on him quite a bit, and that's when Zillman makes the big play, faking Childers and keeping the ball.
Gavin Modelin to attempt the extra point. And we are tied at 7 in what has been an explosive offensive show. We're midway through the opening quarter and both teams have a touchdown. Let's go to Kenny McReynolds.
Well, Jim, you talk about an explosive game. Well, remember this young man, he was explosive on defense. Mr. Fleming, I usually call him when I did the broadcast. Darius Fleming, St. Rita great, Notre Dame great. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. I appreciate you having me on the show. Things are going well. Just back here in Chicago, checking out my hometown team.
Now, you won a Super Bowl ring. Do you have it with you?
I did not bring it with me. If I would have known that I was going to be talking to you today, I would have brought it.
Now, you played in NFL how many years?
Four total, 4 years.
Now, 4 years is a good NFL career, but you're young, you had to do other things. What advice would you have to students that you talk to?
I would say just take advantage of your opportunity when it comes to academics. Sports are amazing. They are a big part of your life, but they don't last forever. And you need to be, ready for that next step when it's time to come. And I think, by having a good academic background and that will help you, taking that next step.
Well, I just talked to Jordan Cornette from Notre Dame. You went to Notre Dame old home week here. Huh?
It is. I mean, hey, luck of the Irish.
Look at the Irish. Hey, Darius, thanks so much for being with me and continue success.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
All right. Hey, Jim, back up to you.
All right, Kenny, thank you very much.
That's a great storyline right there, coming right from the horse's mouth to the youth in high school football. Academics are the number one thing. I mean, you can take advantage of athletics, but the whole life is going to be spent with academics and the concept of education.
McGee takes it to the 16-yard line. He's kind of freelancing here, and now he's picking up some blockers, gets along the sideline, and Boychak, and we have a flag coming really late. But at least in the first 6 minutes, 17 seconds of this game, it looks like we're going to have a shootout tonight.
Kind of surprising, because normally when you see Catholic League blue, it's pound each other, and of course, it still will be that, because it's just so darn physical in the Catholic League and certainly in the blue.
Now, just one more thought on what Darius Fleming had to say.
10 yards from the spot of the foul, first down.
You make a lot of money playing in the NFL. There's no doubt about that. But it doesn't last very long. And when you're in your mid-20s and you're trying to figure out what the next step is, believe me, there's not too many other business endeavors where you're going to make that kind of money.
Well, the other part of that, too, Jim, is how many people are like Darius Fleming? I mean, it's a rarity, really, to end up going into the NFL.
Yes.
And for the most part, in some cases, it's almost a rarity to go into Division I football after high school.
Rios and Lenti are the backs. Thomas pitches. Rios turns up. What a block by Lenti. We're going to get a flag. And it was even better. Defensive play turned in to stop that run by Flynn Blake. Mount Carmel looked like they had that blocked up pretty well. Blake comes in and makes the stop. And this is going to be on the Caravan.
Well, as Coach Kuska had talked about, these teams really know each other extremely well. The only difference is it is hard to prepare for Mount Carmel because you don't see this kind of offense every week. You don't see it all year long for the most part. And running an option and defending it is very difficult. It takes a lot of repetition and tremendous discipline by your defensive players. And that's where they wear you down.
Another school that takes advantage of that by running the option is St. Charles East, because it's just difficult in 1 week to prepare for these types of offenses when you maybe see them once, max twice a year. Thomas, quarterback draw, and that didn't fool any of the Mustangs. Thomas got to the 24-yard line. He gained about a yard on the play, but it's going to be second down and nearly 20.
Well, both the inside tackles closed down, Berglio and Hanrahan. You can see how they come up right inside, just close right there. From behind, come down flat down the line of scrimmage. That's Pat Hanrahan doing a nice job, 5'11", 220-pound senior.
What a job by Hanrahan of shedding his block and then finding Alec Thomas to make the play. If you're a defense, this is what you want Mount Carmel to be in. Second down and a bundle. Thomas, hands off, Rios gets folded over backwards, and this Rita defense in this series really doing a nice job at the point of attack, making the tackle for St. Rita was Lewis Cox. It's going to be third down, and my quick math tells me 19.
Well, it's just a quick dive right there, and they just do a nice job of closing. The linebackers come up. They're playing a little softer because they knew they had longer yardage, so they could play softer there and close a little slower than they normally do.
Thomas is 0 for 1 throwing the football. And we have a back moving and a tight end taking off early, and it is now going to turn into third down and 22.
And you know what that is? That was a vocal offside, because those players have not been used to hearing Alec Thomas's cadence for the last 4 weeks. And so there was a situation right there where the familiarity of his cadence and voice threw him off.
St. Rita with a chance for a big play now. If you're Mount Carmel, do you go conservative and just run it, punt it, and play defense? They'll put 4 receivers into the game. Lenty is a lone running back.
Screen or draw with Alex Thomas.
Thomas, draw, and he'll get past the 30-yard line, stay alive up to the 32, but the Mustangs had plenty of cushion on that play, and they use it, and Mount Carmel will be forced to punt it away on fourth down and 10.
Good safe play right there by Mount Carmel with the quarterback draw, because you got a young man in Alex Thomas that could break it anywhere on the field, so that was a good chance right there that they had spread out. So it was a good job there. Now their kicking game, hopefully, do a good job, and the defense comes up. But St. Rita's going to get good field position here.
Liam McDonough will come in to punt for the Caravan. And it is Matt Dunleavy back there receive for St. Rita. The wind now is coming straight in out of the east, so it's going left to right for McDonough, the punter. Quick snap, and yeah, that looked a little weird. There was something wrong there. And McDonough is going to get off a punt that's only going to go out at the 45. If this is against Mount Carmel, St. Rita might decline this.
Mark the ball off 5 yards.
It is procedure against Mount Carmel. So St. Rita opts to take the football in outstanding field position at their own 45-yard line. They took it right down the field and scored the first time they had the ball. Now they have a chance to get their first lead of the game. Off the motion, on the sweep. They will hand it off, and up the sideline was Jake Stefanski, and he's forced out at the Mount Carmel 46-yard line. It's going to be second down and 1.
They're doing a nice job of mixing up the offense, running up inside with the option, and then going with the jet sweep out here, and a good job of getting on the edges. This keeps everybody honest and gives the opportunity to run inside on the option. Now,
St. Rita is really pushing the pace, getting to the line quickly. Childers in trouble, trapped in the backfield. Miller picks this out and goes some more. So they're leading back for Godman as well. It turned out to be a loss in the play of just a yard, though, so it's going to be third down and 3.
kind of sloppy there on the mechanics with that option. And that can be between both the quarterback, who's trying to read the defense, and the running back, who's supposed to close down on the football.
2 receivers left, 1 right. Back to throw. Zillman fires, has a man wide open, and he put a little bit too much air under it. Stefanski was the intended target. Davion Brooks had the coverage. It's 4th down.
It was a big stop right there. St. Rita, from Mount Carmel, after giving St. Rita some good field position. You can see he's looking in that direction all the time. He actually had a man open right here at the bottom of your screen, and he decided to go for the long ball. It was good coverage right there.
Well, St. Rita is in a punt formation.
Mount Carmel had a look like they were going to guard against maybe a fake. They put Alec Thomas back to return this kick. Model waits. Good kick. Really good kick. In fact, he probably got too much of it. Thomas takes it and somehow didn't go back into the end zone, I don't think, comes out and gets it out to the 11-yard line. But what a punt by Gavin Model. Thomas turns, keeps, pitches late, and somehow Lindsey grabbed out of that, and actually what could have been a disaster, he runs out to the 18-yard line. So the game 6 is sort of second down and 4.
Picks up a couple of yards.
Yeah, he gets out here with the counter option coming out. They do a nice job of defending it. Kind of juggled the ball there by Kyle Davis, and that slowed him down where the linebackers were able to get after him.
It's a very graceful way you corrected me on that, Jack. Thank you. That was Kyle Davis on the carry. So it's Kyle Davis and Ben Lenti in the game right now for Mount Carmel as the runners. 1:12 to go here in the quarter. And we get an officials timeout.
3-yard line.
For
Mount Carmel will make that.
We got a little bit of equipment issue by one of the Rita guys.
Those chin straps are just like safety belts in a car.
Lock it down. You better have them on, and you better have them on properly. I think that was Kavari Cunningham.
Enjoy thin crust, stuffed crust, deep dish.
He's got that jersey cinched up so tight you can't read the number.
They serve pasta, seafood, as well as
it's Kempton Shine, the cornerback.
And delicious
so it's second down and 4 for Mount Carmel from their own 18-yard line. Thomas pitches. This is Lenti, and he has a lot of room to run, but we're going to have a flag that is going to bring it back, and then we have another flag come in. Well, we talk about how good of a baseball player Alec Thomas is, but the referees, at least the back, have a really good arm.
What's interesting about that is that those are the turnovers or the penalties that Frank Lenti does not want to see with the option.
During the run, holding on the offense. Tell the option to spot a foul. We'll repeat second down.
And it's killing big plays and right now in crucial field position situations.
The thing that really helped St. Rita get a stop on Mount Carmel's second possession was the fact that Mount Carmel got behind the chains. St. Rita could drop back a little bit on defense, make sure everything stayed in front of them, and they ended up getting the ball back from the Caravan. Well, now the Caravan are facing the same situation, but the difference is they're deep in their own territory. They have the ball in their own 9 with the 2nd and 12. And again, the spell is always there for Mount Carmel with the ball being pitched, is that it might end up in the turf. Thomas rolls, stops, and that ball is picked off. The Mustangs come up with an interception. It was Matt Callahan who made the interception. At first, it looked like that pass had been batted down at the line because the Mustangs were all over this play.
Well, you've got a left-handed quarterback sprinting to his right, and you can see the play right there, and the ball was deflected right there by Eckern. Right here, jumps in his face. You can see a little bit of deflection, just enough to pick up the interception, and incredible field position right now for St. Rita.
So a huge turnover for St. Rita. They now have the ball on the Mount Carmel 11-yard line. And Zillman hands it off. Stefanski turns it back, and he got back to the line of scrimmage. So no gain on the play. It's second down and 10.
Well, St. Rita's determined to make sure that they keep those edges loose on the corners and the outside linebackers by continually running the jet sweep to the outside off the option.
The Mustangs have stolen a possession. Let's see if they can cash in. Zillman throws, has a man wide open. Good blocking downfield. Touchdown, St. Rita.
Same play they ran earlier off the fake when they had him off the sideline on the wheel route. Cleaves just comes out of the backfield off the jet sweep look and goes right up the sideline, dumps the ball to him. Linebacker loses track. Linebacker responsible for him.
Watch the block upfield that David Williams gets. And this was a great block because, for one thing, it had to be held on for so long. Should react to the extra point.
Well, that's what's great about Catholic Blue football. They are so fundamentally sound. Those kids that are blocking downfield, they keep blocking until the whistle is blown. And at practice, they use whistles. So they continue to block, not just hit somebody and then just let them go.
Model in to attempt the extra point, and that is good. St. Rita fell behind 7-0 early, and now they lead it 14-7.
And the other team that's doing very well is Providence. They beat St. Rita 2 weeks ago, 21-28, and they've done extremely well.
Thomas had a foot in the end zone. That should have been a touchback. Thomas brings it out. Now he's up the sideline, and he's out of bounds to the 44-yard line. His foot jack was in the end zone.
Well, sometimes those calls get missed, and that turns out to be a big play for Mount Carmel. Sure is, not even close. Now, in some occasions, momentum.
And here's the question: was the ball in the end zone?
So
that's the question. Anyway, Mount Carmel, when we start the second quarter, is going to have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 47-yard line. Entertaining first quarter of football. Mustangs lead the Caravan 14-7. All right, thank you very much, Kenny. And we had a chance to look at the kickoff in the break, and what we thought was maybe an incorrect call turns out to be a really good call, because the ball never broke the plane in the end zone, even though Alec Thomas had his foot in the end zone. So, as usual, the officials got it right. Thomas keeps, and Thomas didn't go very far that time. He got wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage. He was spun around by Charlie Selke. No gain in the play. Well, they'll actually give him 1 yard, so it's 2nd down and 9.
Whenever you look at this kind of football, you'll see assignment football. Each person is assigned to the dive back, to the quarterback, to the pitch man. And a breakdown in any of those assignments leads to a relatively big play.
And it is Lenti and Kyle Davis that are the running backs. So Lenti's gone the whole way so far. Thomas fires, and that one a little low and outside, incomplete. He was trying to get it to Aristotle Nakos, and it's going to be 3rd down and 9.
Now that's rust right there.
Yeah, he looked like he threw that a little bit quickly.
It looked like he was throwing a baseball in the second base.
3rd down and 9.
The body language tells you, too, that he's like, oh, I can't believe I just did that.
Yeah, that's an athlete, though. That's how they are. His game right now is running the football, running the option.
But you got to throw it enough to keep him honest. So he doesn't have to complete a lot of passes, but you at least got to show a willingness to throw the football. 3rd down and 9. Thomas pitches. Ben Lenti turns to the outside and gets taken down at the Mount Carmel 48-yard line. So it's going to be 4th down and 5. This Rita defense has done a nice job of being disciplined so far.
Real nice job getting out there and covering the pitch. It takes a little too much time. And what they're doing is they're forcing that pitch very quickly by attacking the quarterback. And as soon as that ball is pitched, it automatically just turns into a regular sweep. Forget about assignment football after that. Everybody gets to the football. As long as the quarterback has in his hands on the option, you got to stay with your assigned people. After he pitches it, it's every man the ball.
McDonough will punt it away, and Dunleavy is deep to receive. McDonough, good, high kick. Dunleavy waits, and he lost the football and left it on the turf.
They have fumbled it. There's a big pile over there.
Caravan say they have it. The officials have yet to weigh in. As a good wrestling match breaks out. None of the Rita guys are indicating they have it, though.
You know, sometimes on a Thursday at the end of the practice, you do things like this, just kind of goofing around a little bit. Do a fumble and have the kids help the officials make the call.
They still have not signaled who has the football. And it is St. Rita football. And it might have been Charlie Coughlin at the bottom of the pile that got to it.
That was really poor execution right there. He was nowhere near. He's reaching out for the ball. You've got to get your feet and hips underneath yourself. Get your elbows in to make the play. Not a very good play right there at all.
There's Coughlin there, number 10, and it looked like he was the one who made the recovery. So St. Rita avoids giving Mount Carmel a free possession, and so the Mustangs take over with a 14-7 lead on their own 22-yard line.
This has just been back and forth football with field position, but nobody can take advantage of it. So for the most part, with the exception of Rita at that last drive,
the offense has marched right down the field on their initial possession. Bowie in the backfield. Stefanski comes in motion. Zillman wants to throw, has some time. Time starting to run out, and he just threw that one away. And so he doesn't give up any yardage, but the down marker flips over to 2 and it's 2nd and 10.
Pretty nice pressure right there by the defensive tackles for Mount Carmel. Cooper and Ackland doing a nice job of containing him and not letting him get outside to the edges. Sometimes you don't necessarily have to have a sack as much as you don't want an athletic quarterback to get onto the edges. You want to keep him on your inside shoulder, so he has to stay inside the pocket.
Zillman wants to throw again, fires, has his man, and it is a gain of about 4 yards to play. And the tackle for Mount Carmel was Valenti, and it was Bowie who made the catch.
Valentis are everywhere.
Reception to the 25-yard line.
Everywhere.
Weber on the stop brings up a...
Here Valenti, there Valenti. Frank's brother, Dave Valenti, is the defensive coordinator and does a great job year in and year out.
On 3rd down, Zillman hangs in there, fires, and somehow got a completion. And that was David Gleaves making a tough catch. That ball was kind of thrown away down low, but Gleaves had gone down and ends up going right to him.
Really an excellent catch right here by Gleaves. Pretty good route. They had 2 open people. He goes to the short man right here, kind of a knuckleball in there. Good catch by Gleaves. Moves the sticks and keeps the drive alive. He just goes down to the turf here and picks it out of there, gets his body underneath and his elbows.
Stefanski didn't get it that time from Zillman, and Zillman will keep it. He'll get a couple of yards, and he's met by a committee, including Valenti and Corin Walker. 2nd down and 8.
Walker and Sonoris on the stop. Brings up 2nd down.
Mustangs trying to get back the momentum they had in the first series. That's Gleaves going in motion. And Gleaves will get the football, made a tough catch, makes the first man miss, gets near the 1st down marker at the 49-yard line. It's ruled that he went out at the 47. It's going to be 3rd down and 2.
That was the same play that they ran down the sideline for a big pickup on their initial drive in the first quarter. And they run it off the jet sweep. And sooner or later, you lack going after him, and they just dump the ball out there. It's just nothing more than a little flare route. But it's been very successful for them so far.
Providence at Brother Rice is the other Catholic League Blue game tonight. Providence and Loyola are 1-0, both coming into the second weekend, and Bouye can't get it started, ends up losing a yard. It's going to be 4th down and 3.
Nice job right there by Jeremy Cooper, number 75. He's tough to move out of there at 6'4", 290 in the run game. And same with Barbarossa up front, 275. And Ackland at 295, the front 3 for Mount Carmel. Those are 3 big boys to try and move out.
Model will punt it away. Alec Thomas is back. And remember the last time, Thomas handled it inside the 10-yard line. And this time he will put his heels on the 15. Model, a great, boy, this kid can really drill it.
Sure can.
And that is toward the corner, and it is going to take a hard right turn and go out of bounds at the 7-yard line.
Great
What
kick.
a kick by Model. How does Vanderbilt find all these 6'4" left-handed pitchers that throw 90 miles an hour and can get into Vanderbilt? Just asking. On the ground, that it's Ben Lenti getting the carry to start off the series. He'll carry it up to the 12-yard line, so that's a gain of 4. 2nd down and 4.
Again, their favorite play so far in the first half is the outside veer. Nothing spectacular. Lenti is not the same breakaway runner as Demetrius Rios is. And he hits a little tad slower. And he's good for 4 or 5 yards a gain. There's nothing wrong with that.
Caravan, like St. Rita, scored in the first possession, but it's been a drought since that first possession. And Thomas gave it to the first man through, and that was Lenti again. And he'll get to the 16-yard line, and it's going to be 3rd down and 2.
Nice defensive effort right there, closing that down. And they've seen this play now about 8 to 9 times so far in this ball game, and so they're starting to catch up a bit. And, of course, the other part of it is they close that down, and then Thomas pulls the ball out, and he's down the sideline.
How about this score, Frank, Jack? Number 1, Lincoln Way East trailing Lincoln Way Central 14-0 late in the second quarter. Thomas gives, and all by himself and trying to run away from everybody is Kyle Davis, and no one is going to catch him. This is an 85-yard run for a touchdown, and Mount Carmel now is an extra point away from tying it up.
Now this is Mount Carmel's patience, Jim, for the last 34 years with Frank Lenti.
Nobody even came close to making up ground on Davis. It was an impressive sprint. Murr puts it up nice and high, and it is good, and we are tied at 14. Lincoln Way West comes in 3-1 on the season. Lincoln Way West at the moment is the number 9 seed in 7A. So the Warriors having another nice season. Short kick taken at the 24-yard line, and ooh, boy, that was a quick stop to a quick run. That was Stefanski that took the short kick and gives St. Rita outstanding field position at their own 43-yard line.
Even though we know he's an outstanding athlete, but the rust and, starting his first game of the year and such a big game against St. Rita.
Zillman off to a good start, too. He's thrown for a touchdown. He's run for one. Childers has some room left side and has to make a decision whether to take it outside or try to split the defenders. He tries to split the defenders, which was actually probably the wiser thing to do. It turns into a 5-yard gain down at 5.
Well, Childers has been very consistent for St. Rita all year. He's a 200-pound running back senior, and he's averaged just under 100 yards a game. But, they're tough yards when you're playing against the kind of competition that St. Rita usually does.
Stefanski, the motion man. Zillman keeps. He was able to avoid the first man. Then turned it upfield. Maybe got a yard out of it. It's going to be 3rd down and 4. And it was Bo Sonoris that made the tackle.
Now, Mount Carmel knows that Jake Zillman likes to run more than he likes to throw, but to keep this drive alive, he had a nice throw last time to Cleve, so we'll see probably a play action here maybe to pick up the first down. There it is.
Throw downfield. Stefan makes the catch, and he's down at the 20-yard line. Got to tell you, the ball was thrown a little bit long, but Stefanski was able to make the play, grab the football. First down, St. Rita at the Mount Carmel 20-yard line.
And actually, he was double covered going down the field. See the little fake right here, just does a post route. Both the corner and the safety come right in here. Corner's underneath and the safety's over the top. He puts the ball right on the money, and it looks like it's coming back with a holding call.
On the offense, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. We'll repeat second down.
That hurts because that was an outstanding throw by Zillman and a great catch by Stefanski.
And the situation being 3rd and 5 at that point.
So now instead of having a first down, knocking on the door for a touchdown, the ball comes all the way back to the St. Rita 33-yard line. 3rd down, make it 2nd down and 18. I thought they said repeat 2nd.
Yeah, they got 3rd on the marker down there.
3rd on the marker. Low snap. Zillman makes the play. Roll out. Fires and threw it into a lot of traffic. His intended target was Frank Napleton. Davion Brooks had the coverage. And it is indeed, that was 3rd down. It's now 4th. And what looked so promising just about a minute ago for St. Rita is now going to turn into a punt.
Coming in this ball game, Mount Carmel has done very well defensively. They've averaged giving up 51 yards a game rushing, 56 a game passing, 107 total yards of offense, and only give up a little over 7 points a game. So, but this is one of the tougher teams besides Loyola they face this year.
See if Model can get another one. That one's a little end over end, comparatively speaking, and Alec Thomas makes a sliding and diving catch. Mount Carmel football at their own 29-yard line. There's a receiver on the left. Alec Thomas looks right, fires, and that was knocked down at the line of scrimmage by Charlie Selke, who we have called his name several times tonight already in this game. Incomplete, 3rd down 8.
Very active young man, one of the leading tacklers on the team also, but a nice defensive play. You can see right here, he's looking in the eyes. You can just see the athleticism right there, getting his arm up. Not only did he bat it down, but even if he hadn't, what that does is it cuts the vision and/or the vision for the quarterback throwing to that receiver, because Thomas is not that big as far as looking down the field. He's only 5'10".
Big play on defense for St. Rita. Thomas rolls right, and now he turns it up and runs, spins off the first tackler, goes to the 36-yard line, where he's brought down. Charlie decent amount of time left, and they should get decent field position out of this. Stefanski back to receive the kick.
Whenever you watch Catholic League football, and especially in the blue, but the white and the green are the same way, very sound fundamental football. Not all divisions have the same amount of talent or size, but they are all well coached and have tremendous fundamental abilities. I say that, of course, being a former Catholic leaguer.
McDonough, high kick, end over end. It's going to get a Mount Carmel bounce when it hits, and it does. And that one will roll just inside the 15-yard line. Like one of those wedge shots Jack McInerney takes where it's a total arm swing, and he takes all the spin off the ball, and it runs up
to Davis and one to Thomas, but both went after Thomas, and Davis took it into the end zone.
That was the move of the quarter, brought to you by ISAC, and on first down, Mustangs able to get about 3 yards out of that, so it's going to be 3rd and 7. You see Todd Kuska, who, well, I remember we asked him a few years ago, because he's had a lot of success in a short amount of time here at St. Rita, if he thought that maybe he could stick around long enough to catch Frank Lenti and wins, and Todd looked at us like we were nuts. Sweep, and that's actually going to be a loss of a couple yards on the play, so St. Rita with a decent amount of time and some timeouts, but they can't get anything going. That was Dan Gleaves who made the run, and the Caravan are going to call timeout now, with St. Rita facing 3rd down and 9 with 2:56 to go in the quarter. 3rd down and 9. St. Rita in a little bit of a spot here. A first down would be key, because if Mount Carmel did get the ball back then, there wouldn't be much time. Zillman drops back, he fires, and that is a completion and a first down out to the 34-yard line. And making the reception was Boy.
Good on that reception.
Good job. Play action. They're drawing him in with that little fake, and he stands up here. It's just that same play they've been running, getting him down, running that little jet sweep look and getting him up the sideline on a little wheel route. And Zillman's been delivering the ball.
He did a fabulous job. There were 4 Mount Carmel guys nearby, and he dropped it in between the 4 of them to get the completion. Zillman, quarterback draw, this time has a little bit of room, made a couple of guys miss, and he is close to another first down, almost out to the 44-yard line, and
gets about 9 yards.
No, they're going to spot him back at the 43, so it's going to be 2nd down and 1.
Well, he's one of those quarterbacks that he runs enough just to keep your defense off balance. He averages about 77 yards a game rushing.
Mustangs emptying out the backfield. That one was a stop route by Gleaves that looked like Zillman thought it was going to be a go route down the sidelines. Incomplete. 2nd down, or 3rd down and 1, I'm sorry. 2nd and 1's a good time to throw that one.
It's always interesting to me how you see these two completely different offenses, but in both cases, how important it is to have quarterbacks that run your system for both teams.
Stefanski in motion. Zillman gives, and this is Childers with a big burst at the middle. Boy, what a nice tackle in the defensive secondary for the Mount Carmel Caravan. That was Kieran Conjar that made the tackle, but it is a first down for the Mustangs, and they're in the Mount Carmel half of the field on the Caravan 48 with just under 2 minutes to go.
I was really impressed with that run by Childers, because he didn't burst through full speed. He kind of just took his time reading the blocks. Real nice job of running in there.
Gleaves in motion. And again, Childers made a man miss the line of scrimmage. Very nimble feet. And he ends up taking what looked like no gain, turning it into a gain of 4. 2nd down and 6. Clock moving. 1:35 to go here in the 2nd quarter.
And spreading them out right here, getting fresh backs in there and receivers, getting their throwing package in.
4 receivers right, 1 left. Zillman looks, screen pass, and it goes in and out of the hands of Javon Benson. There was a forward pass. It's incomplete. Clock stops. 1:19 to go. 3rd down and 6.
Perfect example of running before you have possession of the football. Took his eye off the ball to make the turn and see where the defender was, and does not come up with the ball.
Childers back in, has carried it for almost 60 yards, so they're about 8 yards a carry. Stefanski didn't get the ball. Instead, it was a keeper by Zillman. Someone lost their bucket. For Zillman, it is a gain of about 4 yards on the play. And we get a timeout called, I would assume, by Mount Carmel. 1:09 to go. No, they didn't call timeout. Ball set, wind it. And now we get a timeout, Mount Carmel, yeah.
Mount Carmel takes a timeout.
Took us a while to get there, but we got where we thought we were going to be. 4th down and 2. Well, 4th down and 2 here between two arch rivals, Mount Carmel and St. Rita.
But both those teams next week are very, very entertaining.
Lincoln Way East and HF are the top 2 overall seeds in the state. Stefanski goes in motion. Hand off shoulders, and he will have a 1st down. He shot him all the way out to the 37-yard line before he was forced back. So we're now under a minute to go in the second quarter. St. Rita gets 4 more downs, and Childers gets up a little bit dinged.
That's taking advantage of your big running back right there, and he gets the lineman up in front of him on the lead blocks. Good job right there by his offensive line, but
so Zillman will see if he can keep this drive going. Zillman will keep it, takes a look, fires, and has a completion. Boy, that is going to be knocked out of the air by Jalen Weathers. Instead, it's a completion to Frank Napleton.
And I think what happened was they lost track of that St. Rita had a tight end in there. They thought that the wide receivers were all in there, but he was in tight and slid out. He blocked and then released the outside. And nice throw and catch right there.
2nd and 5 from the 32-yard line. 50 seconds left to go. Childers gets the call up the middle, has some room. He'll lean forward across the 25-yard line to the 24. He'll get another St. Rita 1st down. The clock stopped for 44 seconds, and the clock will start again as soon as they get the ball started. Ball spotted, I'm sorry.
Little counter there, Jim. They run it back to the other side with the guard and tackle pulling. The old Washington counter trade.
Clock moving, 37 seconds. Stillman fires, has Childers inside the 10-man move. He's in the end zone. Touchdown, St. Rita from 24 yards out.
Nice job of getting their backs involved in the routes and putting more pressure on the defensive backs. And what's happening is the defensive backs are being run off, and the linebackers cannot stay with the running backs in the passing game. So well designed by St. Rita and their coaches as far as utilizing their running backs in the passing game.
A huge score for the Mustangs because remember they won the toss and they deferred. So they're going to get the ball back to start the second half. Channeling inner Tom Skilling, and Model knocks it through. It's 21-14. In favor of St. Rita. Zillman is responsible for all 3 St. Rita touchdowns, 1 running and then 2 passing, including this one.
Well, now Childers was the guy that led the jet sweep there as a lead blocker, and when the linebacker came up, he just let him out there, and right up the field he goes. Right up on a little wheel route, does a nice job of running after the catch, and 200 pounds gets him into the end zone.
31 seconds for Mount Carmel.
Little squib kick here.
Matt Lenty is one of the deep men from Mount Carmel, and it will go toward Lenty. Makes a nice catch at the 2-yard line. Trying to pick up some blockers, and they do indeed execute the reverse. This is McGee. He'll step out of bounds to the 26. And I got to credit the Rita special teams on that. They were not fooled by that at all. They were disciplined, and they made that play look relatively easy to defend. Ben Lenty is the only running back in the game for Mount Carmel. They have 3 receivers to the right. McDonough's out to the left. Alec Thomas, quarterback draw, and he'll take it over the 30-yard line to the 31. That qualifies as a very reasonable, safe play to make when you're in the situation Mount Carmel is in right now. Lewis Cox made the tackle for St. Rita. Clock is moving, and that's going to be it. So very entertaining opening half of play, and the St. Rita Mustangs, they fell behind 7-0 within the first 4 minutes of the game, but since then they've had the better part of the action, and they lead it as we go to halftime, 21-14 over the Mount Carmel Caravan.
Hi, welcome to St. Rita High School. My name is Ed Weiser, Director of Admissions here at St. Rita. I wanted to take a moment and invite all of our 8th graders out there to spend a shadow day here at St. Rita this fall. We know that it'll be a very unique fall for all of the schools, but we will be open here at Rita for shadow days, and our schedule is announced on our website. So come by one of these days and check out our school for an inside look as a shadow here at St. Rita. We also have great personal tour options, and you'll hear from Coach Russell about that next. Go Mustangs!
Hello everyone, my name is Roshan Russell. I'm a proud 2008 graduate of St. Rita High School. I'm the Director of Enrollment and Head Varsity Basketball Coach. I want to take this time to invite you to sign up for a personal tour here at St. Rita. We offer tours around the clock. We feel like it's one of the best ways to learn about our great institution. Our goal is when you leave to make sure that all your questions are answered. I also want to encourage you to check out our calendar of events, and you'll hear more about that from our Assistant Director of Admissions, Mike Swanson.
Hi, I'm Mike Swanson, Assistant Admissions Director here at St. Rita High School. This fall, we have a lot of exciting events planned for prospective students. So check us out at stritahs.com for our full calendar of events. And you can see the mini open houses we have planned and the specialty nights that are new this year, highlighting things like academics, athletics, fine arts, and student life. So again, visit stritahs.com and click on the admissions tab. Come and check us out on campus. We'd love to see you here soon.
Here's your guy. You got to talk about your guy, Jack. That's Zach Warnock.
You don't see this. You don't see this anymore, folks. Take a look. That's
He's a straight-on kicker.
He's got his laces, got his toe pulled back by the laces. You can see on the screen there. He's got the square toe, and he's off.
He's Fred Cox, folks. And it is to the near sideline and taken at the 13-yard line. And the return comes up to the 29. They have the ball back here to start the second half, so they can score 2 touchdowns really without Mount Carmel having a possession in between. Mount Carmel did get the ball with 3 seconds left. They just ran out the clock.
Different look here coming out in formation-wise.
5 receivers into the game, screen pass. They get into the hands of Childers in open space, and a really nice open field tackle made out on the edge. And that was Eddie McGee, the cornerback.
Just came flying up right off the bat. Just knew that as soon as he turned and threw it, he was off to the races. Excellent job right there. The wide receivers never got a chance to block anybody.
Lincoln Way East has come back with 2 touchdowns. They are tied with Lincoln Way Central, 14-14, 3 minutes left in the third quarter. So number 1 was on the ropes there. Well, they've gotten off the ropes now. Down the sideline, Zillman throws, and McGee was locked up with Gleaves.
Incomplete.
No flags, no completion either, and it's going to be 3rd down and 12 for St. Rita.
Kind of surprised they came right out after the second half here, because they were running the ball fairly effectively early in the game, and their passing game was based off of the play action. Here they come right out in passing formations. Now they've got Chris Childers back in the backfield, though.
By the way, Phillips has run their record to 5-0. They beat Vocational 68-0. Back to throw. Fire pass man again in the midst of all the traffic. Zillman gets it to his man. It's Dan Gleaves that made the reception. 1st down, St. Rita at their own 40-yard line.
Just found the hole, turned underneath the corner, got in the seam between the linebacker and the safety. Knows exactly where he needs to go. You can see the turn right there. Got between the linebacker who was trying to make the diving tackle and that dead zone in there and picks up the 1st down. That was a big play for St. Rita.
Well, I'll tell you what, Zillman's not afraid, man. He'll throw it in there. And they're not very big windows, but he's making some nice completions. Off of the motion. Zillman gives Childers looking for an opening, can't get around the edge. And Ross Valenzi had that one pretty well diagnosed from the word go. It's no gain on the play, 2nd down and 10.
Kind of hitting. The big plays earlier in the first half were very quick hitting off that just sweep look. But those plays looked a little mechanical and very slow and allowed the linebackers to make the plays.
Okay, it says Ross is 6 feet tall. No way. Unless everybody else is really little out there, which I don't think is the case. Stefanski goes in motion on 2nd down. And it is a keeper, Zillman, and he twists his way to a couple of yards short of a 1st down. And coming up to make the play was Bo Sonoris. It is going to be 3rd down and 2 from the Rita 48.
Just the read option right there, and he does a nice job, which he did in the first half, of running with the football off the fake from the option. And he's really been, along with Childers, a real good 1-2 running combination.
Stefanski and Again, Childers trying to find an opening, and he's not going to find one. He is going to lose about a yard on that play. In fact, he never gets taken to the turf as the officials blow the whistle. And now for St. Rita, 4th down and 3 from their own 47.
You come to a point in the running game where dancing isn't going to get it. You just got to take that 200 pounds and bang it up inside, and there he comes to a stop. And anytime you have a 200-pounder that comes to a stop, he's going to be very ineffective in the running game. If he just barrels along, he'll be fine. But he played right into the hands of Mount Carmel's defense right there.
Big stop for Mount Carmel on the back end of the back-to-back possessions for St. Rita. Now Alec Thomas is back to receive, and Model's been really getting away some good kicks. No wind right now. Model gets another good kick away. Thomas will call for the fair catch, makes it at the 15-yard line. And the Saints lost their first game of the year last week to St. Charles North. Alec Thomas hands it off, and it's right up for Matt Lenti, and he'll grab about 5 yards out of that, so it's 2nd down and 5.
Very, very sound, basic football play, a simple dive up front, but it hits so quickly, and the blocking doesn't have to be anything but just get on him momentarily and let him hit up in the hole. Picks up 5 yards. 5 yards in any kind of an offense on 1st down is very crucial and very effective.
Where Mount Carmel has gotten into a little bit of trouble tonight is a couple of penalties here and there that has put them behind schedule. They're on schedule now, and it'll be a gain of about 1 on the play. It was just your pure dive right at the middle, and Kyle Davis gets the yard, but now it's 3rd down and 4 for Mount Carmel. We are still waiting for the first pass completion of the night by the Caravan.
That's a big offensive line for Mount Carmel. They average 268 pounds right across the front 5. Nick Size 285, Cooper's 290, Vanderbilt's 220, Guest is 260, and Mendiola is 285. That averages out to about 268 pounds. That's a big offensive line.
Demetrius Rios back in the game for Mount Carmel. Thomas turns it up, and he backs his way into a 1st down. It looked like the Mustangs had that thing stopped and diagnosed, but Thomas just turned and just started pushing backwards until he fell across where the 1st down marker was. And getting up a little slowly is Quinn Coughlin, the junior linebacker.
Just following him in, you can see right there he fakes the dive, and then he just follows in, hoping they're closing down. But right here, just knowing exactly what he needed for the 1st down. Good effort for only and it's only 170 pounds.
Chris Bruglio had a hand on Thomas behind the line of scrimmage, but couldn't stop his forward momentum. So it's 1st and 10 for the Caravan from their own 28-yard line. And we will get a flag thrown. And it's going to be on Mount Carmel. And as I talked about a moment ago, Jack, now Mount Carmel behind schedule, 1st down and 15.
Well, and those are the kind of situations that Mount Carmel, if they get a penalty and it's running the option for holding or something, that can be acceptable. It's not something that they're pleased with, but they have a 5-yard penalty before a play is ever run. That is totally unacceptable.
We're hanging in there at 82 degrees, folks. We lost a big amount of degrees the first half of the football game, but we're kind of stagnant here at 82.
I'm about to catch a chill, I think.
It's a lot more comfortable than it was about an hour and a half ago, I'll tell you that. 7 minutes to go. Thomas pitches on the turf, and it's loose, and the Mustangs have it. St. Rita with another turn. Well, hang on here. We're not seeing a say. I was certain the Mustangs fell on top of the football.
The ball was ruled down before.
Tim Guest ends up coming up with the football. Just a little lead option right here. And he never has his hands on the ball at all.
So it brings up
How did the Mustangs not get that football?
Well, that's the second play in a row that Demetrius Rios has had a little side on the play before that, and here he doesn't even handle the pitch because he's not looking the ball in. He's looking up the field to see who's going to take him. Very fortunate they got it back, Jim.
3 Mustangs there, and Rios got it back. Nakos goes in motion. Thomas rolls out on 2nd down and 18, wants to throw. Now he's just going to try and run for his life. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, and he'll be all the way out to the 36-yard line before he's brought down. And if you had any question in your mind about what kind of an athlete he is, you have your proof.
Well, these are the type of things you can't coach, and of course he was in baseball for a long time, and he's been practicing, but this is just a situation where it's Sandlon football right now. He just makes something happen. No way he's looking downfield to throw. He tucks it away because he's a left-hander, puts it in his right arm, and he's running the entire way.
So after all that, Third down and 3 for Mount Carmel. They trail 21-14. And this is right up their alley. Third and 3. Their ratio is about 80% and third and short. Rita stays in the game. Thomas takes it himself and did not get it. He ran into an absolute brick wall in the form of Lewis Cox. What a play by the St. Rita defense, and it's 4th down and 2.
And I think Alex Thomas was ill-advised to keep the ball on that. He would have been better off giving it to the dive back who had a little more momentum. But Mount Carmel's going to put it away. Nice stop by St. Rita here.
Lewis Cox is 6 foot 220. If you run straight into him and he's feet planted, you're not going very far. Stefanski is deep to receive this kick. A little bit of wind right now, but not a whole lot. McDonough into kick for Mount Carmel. He'll let it go high and a spiral and a nice kick. Stefanski calls for a fair catch and he lost it out of bounds.
That ball.
I just don't.
Is fumbled forward to
Not doing a real good job there fundamentally at catching punts. Reaching instead of getting your feet up underneath you and get to the ball. Very, very dangerous play that was.
I will tell you what, there's a handful of games tomorrow around the Chicagoland area for high school football, and I'm pretty sure everybody's going to wish they would have played tonight. Even though it's supposed to be cooler tomorrow than it was this afternoon by a little bit, it's going to be a little toasty tomorrow if you got a 1 o'clock game tomorrow. 1st down and 10 for St. Rita. They have the ball on their own 40-yard line. Keeper, Zillman, right up the middle, and he will have a 1st down just across midfield.
And that's what we're talking about as far as going right up and just turning it on and not dancing and coming to a stop. And he's really, Jake Zillman's been the only one that's been running that hard for St. Rita. Childers is 200 pounds, but he's been kind of tap-toeing through there.
Took a long time to execute the handoff, but they do.
Mitchell, the ball carrier, he's across midfield.
The ball carrier was Mike Mitchell, and he'll get 8 yards out of that. Now,
one thing you don't see in Catholic League football, Jim, is a lot of arm tackling. They get their shoulders, and you can see right here, just a nice shot along the shoulder, but there's good pops right there.
There was Jalen Weathers that came in. 2nd down and 4, actually. Stefanski comes in motion. Zillman back to pass. Didn't see anybody open. He has a lot of room to run. Zillman has a 1st down and then goes down to the turf at the 32-yard line. Now follow me here for a second because, Jack, with 3:49 left here in the 3rd quarter, if St. Rita takes some time off here and goes up 2 touchdowns, it's a huge lead because Mount Carmel, remember, has yet to complete a pass in the game.
Sometimes that happens when you're a dominant running team, which Mount Carmel has always been.
1st down and 10, pitch and catch. Cleves makes the catch. He'll get 8 yards. Give him 9. He's out of bounds at the 23-yard line. It's 2nd down and 1.
Mount Carmel normally doesn't get in situations where they have to worry about this type of thing because they rely on their defense and they rely on ball control. And they always feel as if they can stop the run defensively.
This is now turning into a huge drive for St. Rita. They hand it off Childers, and he was grabbed from behind by Milovikas. And then the rest of the caravan come in to help. That's actually a loss of a yard on the play, and it's going to be 3rd down and 2.
We're looking at 2 downs here to pick up 2 yards.
3rd and short.
Slot receiver on the right side, 2 running backs in the game. Stillman keeps, and he will have the 1st down at the 21-yard line.
He's inside. For a 1st down at Mount Carmel.
Sonoris was there to make the stop.
It's a good job. He's been doing this all night long. Just that little read option right there. They go outside. He just runs up inside, knowing what kind of yardage he needed, which was only 2 yards. He's been a very effective runner.
Zillman back to throw. Here comes the pressure. He rolls out. He doesn't see the pressure coming, and time finally runs out. Chasing him down from behind was Coron Walker.
Walker chases Zillman down.
This is one of those deals where you don't have the rear view mirrors where you can see these people coming, but you can hear the footsteps and probably people on the sideline yelling and screaming. But he did a smart job here by pulling the ball down rather than throwing it up for grabs downfield and possibly a turnover and cutting the drive off for St. Rita.
2nd down and 12. inside of 2.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. And we get a flag. Did one of the Rita guys hop? Now, one of the Mount Carmel guys came toward the line of scrimmage, and it's offside on Mount Carmel.
On the defense, 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
It's a huge penalty because you go from 2nd and 12 and you spin it around and it's 2nd and 7, and now that's not so daunting for the St. Rita offense.
And again, the penalties are hurting Mount Carmel. When they were on offense, it hurt them. When they jumped offside, and now jumping offside defensively.
Boy, a really weird looking start to the play. Zillman jumps in the air, throws it. What a catch! Childers grabbed it, didn't get to the end zone, but it's first and goal St. Rita from the 18-inch line.
Nice target to throw to again. He utilized the backs coming out of the backfield. Good job of keeping the play alive with his feet. Jake Zillman scrambling around and finding Childers to be open and pick up the big first down. First and goal. Let's see if there's a big surge by the offensive line here.
And Zillman will take it. He didn't get in. He got back to the line of scrimmage. The ball will be once again spotted midway between the 1-yard line and the goal line.
Well, Jim, again, this is one of my pet peeves here. Ball's on the 1-yard line, and he's back 7 yards, so it's really not, 1 yard to go. It's 8 yards to go for the most part.
Bouye and Zillman are in the backfield. Zillman will keep it, and this time he is short. Wow, the 6-inch line.
It takes too long to hit up in there when you're back there like that. Even with the fakes, it's just too long developing, and that allows the defensive line and linebackers to squeeze the line of scrimmage. And they did that on 2 consecutive plays with the play action looks in the backfield, and just took too long to get to the line of scrimmage.
3rd down and 6 inches. Zillman on the sweep, hands it off, cleaves into the end zone. Touchdown, St. Rita.
Good call right there. They obviously weren't going to go try to get them running between the backs because the offensive line was being beaten by Carmel front 4. So it's a nice call there, and Chet getting out on the edge saying, okay, we'll put you on an island. Let's see if you can make a play, and they weren't able to.
And a huge score for the Mustangs. They go up by 2 touchdowns. And we have 13 minutes left in regulation in this football game.
And they've kept that ball on that drive for a long time in this third quarter.
They did a really nice job on that drive.
Picked up key first downs in certain situations, but also a couple offsides during those things have helped Rita keep drives alive.
Extra by model is good, and now the Mustangs have put Mount Carmel in a position where they really have to score. And because they're probably only going to get 2 more possessions in the game, they are going to have to complete some passes if they're going to come back in this game. That will be a short kick. Fair catch called for by Davis, scooped up by McGee. McGee trying to make something out of not, and we get the whistle.
It's an illegal play when he waits for a fair catch.
Right. Okay.
Right. Why in the heck he did that? He wasn't anywhere near the football.
Yeah, Davis did call for a fair catch, and then it was picked up by McGee. Good call, Jack. And even if Mount Carmel scores in this drive, but it takes them a long time to do it, they could be in a spot where they can't win the game. So they've got to get something going here and get going in a hurry. Sweet. Aristotle now. He's taking down the 20-yard line. Beautiful overfield tackle by Van Callahan, who was really having a fine game tonight.
That's just a really good job right there, coming out and making that play in the open field. And that's how you really can determine how good a defensive back is. If he comes up with the linebackers and he's helping out and assisting in the tackle, but when he's on an island all by himself, he's got to come up and make that open field tackle. It could be the difference between a loss or a relatively small gain and a touchdown or a long gainer. That's really the key, and that's exactly what Callahan did there.
Mount Carmel does not have to run a play if they don't want to. I think they should. Their time's getting to be a factor here. Handoff. Ball came out, and the Mustangs have it. And they're going to have it in the end zone for a touchdown. The loose ball was picked up by defensive tackle George Western. And St. Rita in control right now, 34-14.
What a turnabout that is right there. Now we're taking a look here at possibly the officials are conversing there, which is always a good thing when I like to see officials when there's any kind of a debate about anything, they get together and talk about it. I don't know if was it on the ground or he took it right out of his arms.
2 touchdowns in less than a minute for St. Rita. Get rid of those gloves. Bottle in again. He's been outstanding tonight as well. And the St. Rita Mustangs up their lead over Mount Carmel to 35-14 on the final play of the third quarter. Fourth quarter coming up. We're going to step aside. Mustangs lead it big right now on the U2 Game of the Week. Tonight's game is sponsored by ISAC, making college accessible and affordable for Illinois students. 35-14, St. Rita in control, leading Mount Carmel. Here is the reason why, and it just happens to be our move of the quarter brought to you by ISAC. Mount Carmel desperate to get back in it. Ball pops out early. George Western of St. Rita picks it up, returns it 22 yards for the touchdown. Maybe, Jack, and I don't think I'm overstating, this could be the play of the year for St. Rita. And I'll explain why after I tell you that the move of the quarter is brought to you by ISAC. Okay, listen to what St. Rita has right now. 35-14 lead starting the fourth quarter here, okay? It looks like they're going to run their record to 4-1, barring anything really crazy. They're playing very well tonight. So they're going to be a confident bunch heading into the game against Loyola next week. So if you go into that game and you get a win, the schedule's not that daunting the rest of the way. St. Rita, by the way they played in the third quarter tonight, they have really set themselves up well to accomplish some big things this year. And I know that may sound a little grandiose to say just based on one quarter of football, but that's the reality of the situation for St. Rita.
Well, I wouldn't disagree with you right there. And of course, the momentum that this is going to take into the Loyola game for them, if they end up coming out with a win in this game, is going to be really a big psychological factor. And, of course, for Todd Kuska taking advantage of that all week long at practice, if, again, they do win, taking advantage of a great practice week to get in preparation for Loyola next week.
Mount Carmel will have to play with desperation here. Short kick. They don't want to give it to the deep guys. Along the near side of the field and covered very well by what has been an aggressive coverage team for St. Rita all night long. How about Lincoln Way East? They have now scored 4 unanswered touchdowns, and they lead Lincoln Way Central 28-14 with 5 minutes to go. Thomas, keeper, and St. Rita, a flag comes down, and I wonder if Thomas had help in losing his helmet.
He's going to have to come out of the game, even though it's a penalty. So Primovic should be coming in, I would suspect, here. Number 4.
Oh, okay, 5 yards. So that should be good for a first down.
So it is going to be a first down for Mount Carmel, so that helps the cause.
The 5-yard mark off, not the big 15-yarder.
Ball is at the 47-yard line.
This young man has played well for Mount Carmel the last 2 ball games, filling in for Thomas while he was on his baseball sabbatical.
Radimir Primovic.
And that's not Irish.
No. And Premovic's going to keep it. Turns upfield, and he'll get a first down to the 40-yard line. How about that? Hey, look at this Mount Carmel roster, Jack, and it's like the United Nations. You got Liam McDonough, you got Gino Antonetti, Radimir Primovic, Pat Cesniak, Aristotle Nakos. I think you got all your major food groups handled right there.
I think you do, too. But this is an interesting play right there because he did that last week in the second half against Loyola. The very first play took him down the field, and, of course, Thomas is back hugging him.
So Primovic takes his 12 yards per carry average and goes out of the football game. Davis, the lone running back from Mount Carmel. Thomas throws and has his first completion of the night. And what a stick on the edge. It was a great catch, actually, by Jalen Weathers, and then Charlie Coughlin came up and just buried him.
And he's coming from his safety position, coming up with a nice angle on the inside, because that was a route that was going towards the sideline. It's a tough coverage call, and they're matching up different people defensively here. Now Coughlin's out on the edge as a corner. Good job of tackling the open field.
Well, if Thomas starts completing passes, who knows? He'll keep it here, and I'll tell you what, I don't think the Mustangs, as opposed to him throwing it and getting big chunks, he'll gladly run 4 or 5 yards. Third down and about 2. Clock churning. 10-18 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Well, as we talked about earlier, both these teams know each other so very well. And no matter what the score has always been, it's always been a very well-played, tough, physical football game over the years.
Maybe one of the most physical games we saw was 2 years ago in the Catholic League Championship game. The Mount Carmel won 7-6. Rollout. Thomas has blocking in front, and he will get a first down. He'll go down to the 26-yard line.
He's inside the 30.
And again, St. Rita doing a nice job of gang tackling, but they're letting that clock run. Exactly what they want to happen. Of course, it'll start with the movement of the chains, but they don't mind him running the football.
These two teams have met twice a year in each of the last 2 years, once in the regular season and once in the Catholic League playoffs. Clock running now. It'll be underneath 9.5 minutes by the time Mount Carmel snaps it again. If they can get it in here within the next couple of plays, still alive. McDonough and Weathers are out to the left. Thomas throws and one hops it to Antonetti. Second down and 10.
You know, talking about playing people twice in the same season, most coaches really do not like doing that. It's just really difficult to get your teams up to play somebody, whether you beat them or not. And the thing is, in many cases, you beat them early. That's the problem, because your kids say, well, we beat them, and you know, what's going to happen now? Well, that happened last year when St. Rita beat Mount Carmel in the fifth game of the year, 31-28, and then lost to them later on, 31-6.
Second and 10. Thomas, he'll keep, and he'll battle his way for about maybe 3 yards before he's taken down by Lewis Cox, but he doesn't get a first down, and the clock keeps moving. I'm going to bet, Jack, and you and I did that game in the Catholic League Championship back in 2015. I'm going to bet it was a lot cooler that night than it is tonight. I'm just going to go out on a limb. I don't remember. I'm going to bet the temperature is probably in the 40s that night.
I'll tell you, Jim, you always amaze me. You just live on the edge of those kind of comments and thoughts.
Now, I know we did a championship game at Brother Rice a few years ago. It was really cold. It was Loyola and Brother Rice. Thomas down the line, pitches Kyle Davis in space, and what an open field tackle. What a great job by Charlie Coughlin.
Again, Charlie's doing an exceptional job of tackling in the open field, and that's a situation that Mount Carmel would say, we'll take that every single time, one-on-one, but Coughlin's coming up with the tackles in the open field.
I know this. If I were Todd Kuska, my message to my guys would be, look, we play like this, we can beat anybody. They are really playing well tonight.
Very fundamentally sound. And Thomas has played pretty well for being his first ball game of the year.
First game out, he's done a nice job. And he got a free 5 yards, and he got a free first down out of that.
Encroachment. The defense, 5-yard penalty. Result of that play will be first down.
Again, good job by the officials. We've really had some outstanding crews in the games that we've done. We've had some interesting calls, but yet the officials had him right on the button. Good shot right there of Frank Lenti.
There was Jack Bracewell, one of the backup quarterbacks, signaling in the plays. I like those red Mount Carmel hats, huh? How about that? So they can pick out the guy sending in the plays.
Oh, absolutely.
First down and 10. First man through is, I believe it was Lenti on the carry. And I took that back. It was Rita that made the carry. But not much. And more important for thing right now is the clock continues to move. This has been a long, time-consuming drive by Mount Carmel, which is normally a good thing, not when you're down by 3 touchdowns. Rios and Davis in the backfield. Thomas will turn it upfield, and he'll get a couple more yards down to about the 6-yard line.
Keeps the ball, turns it
and
up to about
that is going to bring
6-yard
up
line.
3rd down and about 3.
It's going to bring up 3rd down and about 3.
I've been impressed with how Thomas has taken over the leadership, obviously. We saw Mount Carmel earlier in the year, and they really did kind of lack that leadership. Now, right now, obviously they're down in the core work, but impressed with Thomas' leadership.
Thomas spins, keeps. Pitchman was taken away, and Thomas will lean forward down to about the 4-yard line. Usual cast of characters for St. Rita: Cox, Flynn, Blake there on the tackle, and one of the Mustangs getting up a little bit slowly after that, and it's Matt Callahan, who's been a wrecking crew out there tonight for the Mustangs.
And what an perfect example of how to defend the option on that last play. Everybody matched up with somebody and really did a nice job of defending against the option.
It is a 1st down, however. 1st down and goal from the 3-yard line, but we're now under 6.5 to go. It may be an odd circumstance that St. Rita gives up a touchdown here, but they actually accomplished a lot on this drive by making Mount Carmel burn up so much time. And that one will be short of the goal line. Gain of 2 down to the 1-yard line.
Thomas keeps it. He gets forward for
and that was Davis on the carry.
Almost kind of surprised there that Thomas did the quarterback sneak, because there was nobody in the gap of the center and the guard, and that's the perfect lane for the quarterback sneak. Let's see if they put somebody in there now.
Under 6 minutes to go.
You see the left gap over there over the left guard. That's
Thomas
where he went.
Keeps it, and he did not get in.
Thomas did not get in. He tried the left side. He was pushed back by the interior.
Again, he's looking at the gap on the left side when he comes up on the ball. And what happened is the offensive lineman got stood up, and that's why he was driven back. He didn't come off the ball low and drive the defender into the end zone. He stood up and consequently got no movement at all at the line of scrimmage.
Lincoln Park beat Steinmetz tonight 48-0. So the Lions are 4-1 on the season. 3rd down and goal. Thomas will try it again, and he didn't get in the first time, but he kept the feet churning and gets in. Touchdown, Mount Carmel.
Good effort right there by Alex Thomas. A nice job by the left side of the offensive line, sustaining their blocks. Nick Size, Jeremy Cooper, the center, Max Vandervelde. Nice job on that left side. They have trouble because they just do not throw the football very much.
So it is indeed a 2-touchdown game now. 35-21. St. Rita has the lead, and, well, St. Rita's executed a lot of things well tonight on special teams. We'll see how they are at handling an onside kick.
And the ironic thing about this is St. Rita's really kind of dominated somewhat in certain areas. Baltimore, they had one of the top running backs in the entire state and Midwest, and he is such an exciting football player to watch. You've got to stay tuned to see him play.
Caravan decided to kick it relatively deep. Jake Stefanski got it and brings it all the way back out to midfield.
Stefanski takes that kickoff.
Glenbrook South, the winner over Niles North tonight, 38-7. I believe Glenbrook South is 4-1 on the year now. After I think they only won 1 game last year. So the Titans have had a nice turnaround this year, Jack.
You know, they've always been a very good program. Tumbled last year.
Want to thank the gentleman directing tonight's game, Frank Vance. And the most important thing Frank did tonight was he vacated his seat in the truck and allowed me to sit in the air conditioning for a while.
Oh, I was wondering where you were at. I was outside perspiring. I was looking around for you, but couldn't find you.
Nazareth stays undefeated. They beat Bennett tonight 24-14. 1st down and 10. Mustangs just want to run it, keep that clock moving. Bouye will take it inside the midfield stripe to about the 46-yard line.
Mount Carmel 45.
And they're going to run this ball and run this ball and run this clock. Good quickness right here.
Eddie McGee makes
just getting a little jet sweep on the outside. Good job downfield. Keeping the ball inbound. Picking up a nice Gain of about 6 yards on first down. Very crucial always on first down to get the good at least 4 yards.
Oswego East stays undefeated. A 7-6 winner over Plainfield North. I don't know what's the bigger story. Oswego East winning or Plainfield North, a high-powered offensive team, only getting 6 points. Carey, Childers, first down inside the 40, and he will stay in bounds. Now, granted, the clock stops when they move the chains, but then the clock restarts as soon as they get it spotted because he stayed in bounds. And St. Rita now looking like they have this one in the win column with 4 minutes to go and a 2-touchdown lead on the ball and a first down.
And it'll be interesting to see if they kind of slow it down as far as their play calling up, or they keep up the rapid pace that they've been at. Looks like they're going to keep going after them.
And Childers will get kind of pushed along the line of scrimmage and turns it upfield. He's inside the 15-yard line, and he's down at the 6-yard line. First and goal, St. Rita.
What a nice run right there. I think a lot of people gave up on the fact that Kyle Davis, they thought might be going out of bounds, just stayed inside and did a nice little tap dance down the sideline. Off the option, good read right there, dips it outside, good straight arm, poor tackling. Very poor tackling down the sideline right here. Looked like he was going to go in, tried the cutback. Good hustle right there. By Derek Washington.
Huntley knocks off Prairie Grove 41-32. Naperville Central, they stay undefeated. Beat Wheaton Warrenville South 31-17. And remember, too, that here at St. Rita, they have a play clock. So the quarterback can look right up at it. Zillman does. He'll keep it, and he gets hit right at the 6-yard line. No gain on the play. Coming up and making the tackle was Bo Sonoris.
Zillman, the ball carrier.
In the play earlier, the coaches were yelling because he was not paying much attention to the play clock, but he is now.
Marist beat Marion Catholic 63-6 tonight. Glenbard West over Downers North 35-14. Riverside Brookfield over Wheaton Academy 20-9.
This would be a statement touchdown here if they get one in.
2:44 to go. Yeah, they're kind of in no man's land here. They really can't run it out. And they are going to let the clock run, and they will call timeout.
Rita takes a timeout.
So for the Mustangs, 2.5 left. They have it second down and goal on the 5. Stefanski goes in motion. Stefanski gets the handoff. He had one man to beat and couldn't get past him. Open field tackle by Eddie McGee. And Zillman goes down just inside the 1-yard line.
It almost looked like he let up on that run going outside. It looked like he was starting a little casual going in. They scored on that exact play going in the other direction in the near the end of the second quarter. But he got a little casual, I think, on that particular play.
Andrew beat Lockport tonight, 17-14. The Thunderbolts appear to be back, Jack.
Hey, home of former Mike O'Neill, Hall of Famer. Had Andrew in the playoffs every year he was there. Outstanding coach. Had that Andrew program, one of the top ones in the state.
Zillman lost it, has to fall on it. And so will they give Model a try at it, or do you go for it here on 4th down? And if you don't get it, then Mount Carmel's got the ball inside their own 10 with a minute and a half to go. Lamont, you know, I would not kick this, Jack, and I'll tell you why. You get it blocked, it's run back, and you get an onside kick. I think the only way you possibly lose this game is to get a kick blocked. But Model's got good elevation on these. They get up and they get up in a hurry.
Mount Carmel's a good penetration up the middle and extra point.
And Model makes it all academic by making that look pretty simple. So Gavin Model with a 23-yard field goal, and that will put it away for the Mustangs. Short kick near side, and it is taken by Lenti at the 28-yard line. And Bouye was actually the guy who made the tackle, and then we get a flag come in as well.
It'll be a face mask there.
Run down. 1st and 10 now.
It's a good football game. Great crowd.
Yeah.
Tremendous rivalry. And rumor had it that this might be the last game? Did we heard that correctly? We're not sure about that.
Well,
Wave
because
it off. Yeah.
Mount Carmel is being moved out of the Catholic League Blue. So they're no longer going to be conference rivals. So when they play, they will play as the two crossover games that every Catholic League team plays during the year.
I would suspect in many cases, I know when I was an athletic director, when you had scheduling issues, you always tried to keep those rivalries alive if it was all possible. And I would suspect that both the athletic directors for Mount Carmel and St. Rita would find out a way of arranging that game.
Premovic into play, looking downfield for McDonough, didn't complete it. Hillcrest having a nice year, Jack. They were winner over Tinley Park tonight, 33-6.
We got a holding call here.
And we have a flag on the play.
Against, it appears to be against Mount Carmel, holding.
So,
let's see.
7A, the top 5 seeds coming into tonight. Batavia, number 1. Lincoln Way Central, number 2, but we know that they lost.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense. 15 yards.
Normal Community, number 3. Rockford, Auburn, number 4, and Hononegah, number 5. So some teams from the Rockford area up in the... Now remember, all those Rockford area teams in the big schools are all in the same conference, and it's a 10-team conference, so they all play each other once. So that won't continue.
And in the beginning of the state championship series in the early 70s, Rockford teams were always in there because they had tremendous speed and a lot of great athletes.
Catch by Antonetti, and he'll be taken out of bounds the 22-yard line. Lakes beat Grant tonight 43-14. Hoffman Estates beat Conant 20-6. Barrington remains undefeated. They beat Frem 26-14.
I think Hoffman Estates might be undefeated.
I believe you might be right, Jack.
I mean, they've really come out of the...
Buffalo Grove, I know, is undefeated.
Two teams that had some lean years for a while.
Premovic fires, has a completion, and deciding to keep it in bounds was Nakos, and he's taken down at the 30-yard line. We're now under a minute to go.
Nakos, the ball carrier, brought down.
It's always good to see those schools. They have the resurgence. I think you mentioned earlier. Some of these schools, like for example, Buffalo Grove, they won the state championship early on when the series first started with Grant Plain as the head coach. Their program was one of the top in the big schools.
Premovic wants to throw, flushed out of the pocket. He's running. He's trying to get to the sideline. He won't get there. 35 seconds left. Prairie Ridge, the number 2 team in the Chicagoland area, according to Beth Long, beat Bartlett 63-7. So you're guaranteed in a 10-team conference of getting into the playoffs at 5-4. Premovic on 4th down, looking for Thomas, and he throws it his way. Thomas gets it. I don't know if he got it or not. Boy, it looked to me like it. Yeah, he
Premovic
was 4th down.
Completes that pass on 4th down.
Oh well. I
think the chain people are being nice hosts.
Yeah, and you know what?
Say 1st down.
Here you go. Interesting. Playing Alec Thomas as a receiver just gives everybody else one more thing to think about with him. Premovic looks right, nothing there. Rolls out to his left, got rid of it, and incomplete. 17 seconds left.
Intended for Thomas.
I at one point early on thought that might be what they might do in this first game, at least maybe for the first quarter, was to play Thomas at a wide receiver and have Premovic playing quarterback because he's played well in the last couple games, and then just ease Thomas back into it, but they went with him right away. And he did a good job. I mean, he was just very electrifying running the football. He just didn't get a lot of help and had some turnovers at crucial times.
He did a good job, but the Rita Mustangs did a great job tonight. I think that's really the difference in the game. This is about as fine of a game as we've seen St. Rita play in a couple of years. I mean, they've just been outstanding in every aspect of the game.
Well, they needed to do what they had to do on defense, and that was the key thing. They were able to stop the option when they needed to stop it in certain situations, and then end up with good field position and take advantage of it. And of course, scoring 14 points on 2 turnovers, that's a big issue. I mean, if you, it's one thing to have turnovers, but it's another thing to score points off them, directly off of them.
And now for Mount Carmel, here's what's in front of them. They need to beat 2 of these 4 teams, Brother Rice, De La Salle, Montini, Providence, to get back to the playoffs. Premovic, and it came out end over end, and we have a flag come down, and we're going to have one more play. So we talked about the start of the game. For the team that wins this game and goes to 4-1, all of a sudden you have a lot of possibilities open to you, and that's what it looks like for St. Rita. For the loser, you're sitting at 3-2, and the specter of missing the playoffs is something that is definitely there.
Well, I give credit to both these schools. I mean, Todd Kuska obviously had his team ready and did a great job. And, of course, Frank Lente has always done a tremendous job at Mount Carmel, year in and year out, game in and game out.
We got an illegal forward pass on the offense. 5-yard penalty.
He must have been past the line of scrimmage there. It looked like it was relatively close.
No, that's it.
Good shot there of Todd Kuska, graduate of St. Rita in 1990. 20 years as the head coach.
The officials, well, I thought they might just wind the clock and say that's it, but they'll give Mount Carmel one more play. Thomas is out to the right, and he's out there all by himself on single coverage. Premovic rolls, and he should step out of bounds because lining him up for an absolute huge hit was one of the members of the St. Rita defense. It was a very sportsmanlike play by Lewis Cox, not to take a shot at Premovic as he went out of bounds. But Todd Kuska and his Mustangs, what a game tonight for them. And they win it by a final score of 38-21. And we will be back in a moment to wrap it up. This is the game of the week on the U2. Todd Kuska giving his final words to his team that played an outstanding football game tonight. Alec Thomas comes back, but St. Rita puts everything together and they get the victory. Final score, St. Rita, a winner over Mount Carmel, 38-20.
Welcome back, Mustang fans, and what a way to finish our rivalry week and our Spirit Week here at St. Rita with another victory against our rival, Mount Carmel. Moving on, we still have plenty of Rita replays coming. This next section of games is going to take us into our championship moments. So please be sure to tune in next Friday as we start with our 2007 Prep Bowl Championship against the Morgan Park Mustangs. Go Mustangs!